Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching GEEKCASTER. Everything sci-fi, fantasy, geek culture. I'm Michael Michael, and today we've got
Mary.
Tayler.
Mary. Tayler. How you guys doing?
I'm good.
Doing good? Are you awake after?
Not really.
No.
Like the rain makes me sleepy, so
I'm
halfway.
still recovering from my Comic-Con knee injury.
Oh man, what happened during Comic-Con?
I don't know. My knee just gave out on me. The first day I did like 5 miles.
Okay.
And then the second day I walked more than that.
Okay.
So I think my knee was like, you're bugging. I need to set you straight.
Wow.
He said no.
Well, that's not good.
Yeah. So Saturday I walked the least amount.
Okay.
So if you're going to Comic-Con, be prepared to walk.
Yes. I think I lost a few pounds.
If you're gonna skip the gym, skip it all the beginning of that week before Comic-Con, because you will get your cardio on at Comic-Con. That's for sure.
Now, New York Comic-Con.
Correct.
It is a comic book pop culture convention.
I don't even
Because
know
it's growing.
if that.
It's growing so big.
I don't know if that really encompasses all of it, because it's pop culture from like TVs and movies. It's anime. It's your favorite book. It's your favorite fandom, your favorite throwback TV show or fandom. Like it's literally
and cool posters.
Yes,
Yeah.
you do get a lot of cool posters. There are a lot of really awesome artists, professional and amateur, that come out for Comic-Con.
But see, nowadays, fandom is becoming pop culture, because like before it was like, oh, you like that thing that's considered nerdy or whatever, and we're gonna like other you or whatever. But now like fandom is everything, and it's in everything. Like I think the big thing over at San Diego Comic-Con is Supernatural, or was Supernatural, because now they're almost done, and The Walking Dead is a big thing. But like, if you just think about it, it's not original geek culture in the sense of you like magic and sci-fi and weird stuff. It's kind of the newer geek culture of like, oh, this is like a completely what if scenarios, like what if ghosts are real type thing, what if zombie apocalypse happened. And so mainstream is becoming, or has already become, fandom. So it's just becoming more and more everything that we're used to, like as nerds.
Well, let's jump into some of those new things that are going on now. Let's start with anime, because there's a lot of things changing with even the distribution of anime.
Sure. So one thing I would like to highlight, I did go to a panel for Funimation and Shogun Jump.
Okay.
And one of the things that really stuck out to me by one of the voice actors is the difference between what it used to be 20 years ago.
Okay.
When they were doing Yu Yu Hakusho, and what they're doing now. It used to take months for them to be able to do a dub. It was a very time-consuming effort. And they just talked about how now it's so easy. They get the episodes within days of it premiering in Japan, and the dubbed version is out within a week. So it really allows the Western audience to really feel more involved and more a part of the fandom of the anime, because they're getting it almost completely on time, like that of
your hair is hitting the mic. Yep.
like that of like those in Japan.
Okay. See, the thing about okay, so like the anime industry is becoming so far into Western media. It's all because like there's this huge decline in like the acceptable quality of animation, like in Western animation, and so like we go and try and see something that meets our original standard of quality, at least what we remember. And so like that's anime. And so like as it becomes more and more mainstream in the West, there gets a lot of like modern problems arising, like how it's really easy for them to dub stuff nowadays, but the quality of voice acting is actually going down because they're not using like newer voice actors. They're not looking for newer talent. They're using the same like same voice actors.
Point. Yeah.
And so like a lot of times, even though the dub is available, a lot of times we still go for like subtitles because we know Midoriya that isn't supposed to sound like he's 40.
Okay. Are there more celebrities involved these days?
Not what I would consider, I guess, pop culture celebrities. They're celebrities within their own kind of community. If you're aware of who voice actors are, I would consider them maybe a celebrity within the voice acting community because they've done a lot of your favorite characters are the same people over and over again. So within the industry, I would say that they're celebrities, but to the average person, honestly, the average person watching an anime never Googles what the voice actor really looks like.
Wait, but then as soon as they really, really get into anime, it's when they start to realize they've heard that voice.
Yeah,
7 times over.
Gotcha.
And like that's like the problem is they recognize the voice, and like Cree Summer is one of the most well-known voice actresses.
Yes, all your favorite black girls, that's Cree.
You actually didn't know that previously until you went and Googled, because like from every character, no two characters of hers actually have the same voice. Even when she was on Kids Next Door and she voiced number 5 and her older sister. And like there was a difference. They still sounded similar because you're like, okay, siblings talk similar, but their voices weren't the same.
A great example of that I think is Stan Smith from American Guy and Joe Swanson from Family Guy. That's the same voice actor, but if you are not paying attention and they're the only ones talking, you're not really sure what show you're watching because he does basically his own voice for both characters.
Now, New York Comic Con, they also do Anime NYCC, and they went really hard with Fire Force. Are you guys familiar with Fire Force?
I am not. Not at all.
I am. It's on my watch list, and I've started watching it, and I'm playing catch up because I often have to play catch up with the anime because I'm like, I'll let it go and then I'll just binge it. And so I'm the main character's name is Shinra, and his like in the series, everyone has like a little flame inside of them, and there's this thing called spontaneous human combustion. And so someone will randomly burst into flames. And second generation fire starters or fire users, they can control, they have some type of pyromancy in which they can control flames. And then third generations can produce their own flames. And the main character Shinra is a third generation, and his ability is to produce flames from his feet. And the people the artist who made, the creator of Fire Force is also the creator of Soul Eater.
Oh.
And Soul Eater is like that original,
Soul Eater,
widely
excellent.
known Halloween anime. So like this is the great month for Fire Force. And they'll be finishing up their first season not too far along here. And like as Shinra goes to try and find the explanation of spontaneous human combustion, like if it really is spontaneous or who's causing it. Yeah, that's the thing. So cool. They're just like, is someone causing this?
Right.
And so you get to meet a slew of characters, and they're all pretty fun. And of course, you do have to have the obligatory ecchi character. In this case, like in Soul Eater, it was Blair the cat. And in this case, it is also another cat-like character named Tamaki. And so she's also third generation, and her abilities are like, she gets flame cat ears and 2 tails. And so her ability isn't very well fleshed out, but we'll get to see some more of her pretty soon.
Now, is this super popular because they had a whole setup? They were like half, I would say, half the setup, if not 75% of the setup for Anime NYCC.
So
I don't want to get confused with the other convention that's coming up.
Yeah,
it's Anime.
I think it's
NYCC.
New York Anime NYCC. I think that's their exact hyphen.
Anime, and I can't say the end of the way.
Anime. I think it's Anime at NYCC, but yes.
I think she's correct.
Mm-hmm.
So Fire Force is actually really popular, and they're hyping it up because they know as soon as October 12th hits, no one's going to be watching Fire Force anymore.
Really?
No one's going to be watching anything else anymore other than My Hero. So My Hero Academia is widely popular. It's My Hero Academia and Boruto are set to be 2 of what's considered the new big 3 of anime. So
there is a Boruto Naruto like time flip crossover happening, and so apparently Boruto is going to meet a young Naruto, and that sounds like a hot mess for the Leaf Village.
Exactly. And so that's going to be a movie coming up. That's a movie, coming up soon?
I believe it's a series. I believe they're doing a series for that.
That does not need a series. That just needs a movie and move on. Wait, speaking of movies, Demon Slayer is getting a movie. And what's really interesting about that is Demon Slayer is only in its first season. And historically...
Wait, live action?
No, Demon Slayer is first season anime.
No, but are they going to do a film live action?
No, it's just the anime film, which is why it's so strange, because normally they'd wait till, like My Hero waited till the second season, which was still pretty early. And historically they've waited until like the 3rd or 4th season to produce a movie, so that way they know they have an audience for it. But the character that it's centered around, if anyone who reads the manga knows about the character it's centered around, so they know why it's getting a movie as opposed to a series, because it should have been the 2nd season, but instead it's just the movie, so they're wrapping it up very nicely and neatly.
But you also have to take into account the popularity of the manga itself, especially in Japan. So that's a lot of the reason why things become animes in the first place, is because the manga is hugely popular. So maybe the manga is hugely popular in Japan, and they just saw that, we might not be sure about the anime yet, but the manga crowd, we're for sure going to have the audience we need for this movie. So let's just go straight for the movie.
Well, see, that is a very good argument, but also, I can't say anything because I don't want to spoil it. because I know what happens in the manga. I know it's most likely the reason, the thing that happens in the manga is most likely the reason that it's getting a movie.
Okay.
As opposed to a series, because it would be easy to continue it into a series, because it's literally the next set of chapters or whatnot.
How are you guys getting your animation? Are you watching things through Crunchyroll? Are you watching through Funimation? How are you? So
I watch mostly subbed, so I get mine through Crunchyroll. However, if I really need something dubbed, then because I'm working, I'll get it through High Dive, or because I have a Verve VRV kind of connection, so it's a 3-in-1 type thing. So I get Crunchyroll and High Dive and whatever Verve has.
Yeah, because Tayler, last year, weren't there several different distribution outlets that were kind of all together as one?
Well, I know Crunchyroll and VRV are supposed to be together. Because I know for a while, if you paid for one, you got both.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how it is anymore. But that was how it used to be. So I think a lot of them collaborate. A lot of them are collaborations between the actual original Japanese studio, which probably still does work here, and the actual company here that's in charge of the distribution and the publication on the American side.
Okay.
So there are a lot of companies that are this kind of the same company, but they're just in two different regions, kind of. So like Crunchyroll and Funimation are like the American side. They're the ones that usually do a lot of the publications and the dubbing over from the Japanese versions.
So, Crunchyroll and Funimation are two separate companies because Funimation is pretty much a dubbing only company. And so, the distribution actually comes either directly from Crunchyroll or like Sentai Filmworks or another company that's usually based, that more often they're based in LA. And then they'll get, if Funimation wants to dub something, they'll get the distribution rights from Crunchyroll. And so it's still a weird partnership because with Verve, they did have that package deal where you get Verve, Funimation, and Crunchyroll. And then Crunchyroll ended up dropping out of it, and Verve replaced it with High Dive. And we're still kind of exploring High Dive to see, it's like, okay, this is a viable kind of alternative to Funimation. And so I do believe they still have that 3-in-1 package because I was watching it the other day.
They don't.
It was just a grandfather
They don't.
thing?
I realized they don't because I checked my credit card statement and all of a sudden there were 2 charges.
Oh no.
Yeah, so that's how I know that there's no longer a package, because it was definitely a package when I signed up.
See, it might have been a grandfather thing. I don't know.
I've
had it for too long, so.
I've had mine for like 2 years. Yeah, and recently this summer I discovered that they had split the charge. So yeah, you might want to
check my bank statement.
You might want to check your bank statement because they've been taking $8 from you and you don't even know it.
Now I don't have too much on books this year that seem to be exciting.
Hunger Games prequel.
Yeah.
All right, people. There is a new Hunger Games. Yes.
You said time out.
It's not the war. It doesn't matter.
Okay, so
it's not the war that didn't
it's not the war.
It didn't matter.
It's not the war, but it's reconstruction, which may be even more interesting because it's not the actual war. It's them creating the 12 districts and how they function after the war, which I think is a little more. That is a little more tricky, like trying to bring back society after society has crumbled. I've seen the world blow up a million times. I've seen that in a movie a million times.
But like rebuilding it is a different
story. The trouble
story.
of building it back up. Yeah.
Wait, so is this a prequel build up before the Hunger Games?
Okay, so this is the prequel before Katniss Everdeen. So this is like 65, 70 years before Katniss Everdeen.
Okay.
And yeah, so this is them basically creating the districts, figuring out their political structure and how they're going to function again. So yeah, I'm really interested on how the capital becomes the capital, and they actually get away with the arrangement. I mean, just the arrangement of like you guys work and do all this labor, and the capital kind of, I'm not really sure what, because I'm pretty sure the first district is the Capitol Police. So what does the capital do?
Wait, but the 12th district, remember that's when they rebelled, was shortly after the war. Well, sorry, the 13th district.
We're
about to see how the 13th district disappeared.
We gonna have to see.
All we
got at Comic-Con was a banner. That's all we got at Comic-Con. No panel, no discussion, no author signing. It was just a banner.
We're bringing this back.
And I want the audience to know that this is the official way that you talk about a banner. It's called the Tayler.
It's spirit fingers. You have to involve spirit fingers and everything, okay?
That's funny.
Bring It On taught me that.
But were there any other books that were exciting? It was interesting when they did the reveal People were shaking things and, ooh, Hunger Games. Everybody looked, and then they kind of moved on. It was very weird.
I mean, what else were we supposed to do? Stare at it for half an hour?
Oh, and Tayler, you said that, by the way, you said a lot of posters were different each day. I didn't even notice that.
It depends on where you were. Some people were real corny, like Viz.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Viz. But you let me down this year. There was only one sampler book. They gave out the same poster over and over again. Comic-Con. All vendors. Okay? The stupid cutout hats, like I'm 5 at McDonald's, I don't need it. I don't want it. Save the trees. It's not necessary. Okay? You could have given me 2 different My Hero posters for all that paper you wasted.
But wait. Because we have Anime NYC coming in November.
Correct.
Which is specific to anime.
Correct.
So I'm kind of hoping they show out, they conserve for anime at New York Comic Con and show out at Anime NYC.
I'm expecting a repeat.
They better show out. We got 3 books last year. I have all 3 of them.
I've gone to Comic Con several years in a row now. It's like year 4. And this is definitely the year where I got the least amount of freebies. They're definitely cutting back on that. I don't know if they're seeing it as like it's not beneficial or whatever. Like I usually Crunchyroll, like if you're a Crunchyroll member, you get like an exclusive bag or a pen or nothing. Yeah. Nothing. I was highly disappointed, Crunchyroll. Well, highly disappointed.
I gotta say Disney, even though they didn't give out much, I got these wonderful posters for big city greens and blah.
Oh, do you know what I did see? Because we talk about Disney. Do you know what I did see?
What did you see?
I was absolutely like flabbergasted. So not only did they have a Harry Potter and the Cursed Child booth, but they had a Harry Potter and the Cursed Child panel. So for those of you who don't know, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child is basically the 8th book in the Harry Potter series. It takes place maybe 15, 20 years in the future, if that long. Harry's an adult. He's married to Ginny, Avi, and the story is basically about their son, Albus, who's obviously named after Dumbledore.
Oh, that's so cute. That's so cute.
But I saw it on Broadway, both parts, and it was the most magical thing I've ever seen in real life.
Oh,
like,
it is.
I was blown away. Like, the way that they do things and they appear and disappear, I was like, there must be trapdoors and wires everywhere. And the panel kind of explains some of the things that they do. So the actors are trained on how to, like, swoosh their cloak to hide objects and then, like, kind of show them, but make it not look like they were carrying it. Like, they gave us all these examples, and they spent like 18 weeks practicing these like basically rhythmic moves. And the show is really, really good. Like if you're a Harry Potter fan and you know the storyline, even if you don't really excellently know the storyline,
it's worth it.
If you are a Harry Potter fan, it is absolutely 100 million billion% worth seeing it. I saw it all by myself.
That's a lot of percentage, folks.
I saw it all by myself. And
exactly.
I didn't even care that I was there by myself. Like I was so zoned in on the edge of my seat the entire time. It was amazing. Yeah, if you are in an area that has it, San Francisco, New York, London, Sydney, go see that.
Disney should well, no, Disney doesn't own it. Do they own that property?
Yes.
They do?
Oh, and the Disney Potter Park at Universal, the aspect of the park at Universal, I've never been, but it's fucking awesome.
Really, the censors, really.
Sorry.
You were doing so well this episode.
Yeah, don't listen to my podcast if you don't like her. Don't do it.
She's so cute.
You can bleep me and put a little cute little like anime like face over my mouth.
She always wanted to give people work to do. We'll just pretend it didn't happen. All right, so we're going to do a part 2 on New York Comic Con. So, because we still got Batwoman, we still got Riverdale, Harley Quinn, cosplay, video games. We got more to talk about. So, at least for this half, give everyone your social media.
So you can catch me at Tayler of SEV or T Fenner Photos. That's TFENNERPHOTOS.
And you can catch me on Instagram Instagram and everything as Art Girl Momo, or specifically on Instagram for Art Mary of Many Mediums.
Ooh, that's a lot going on over there.
Everything, yo.
And you can reach me at Michael7 Michael. That's the number 7 in between. And of course, you're watching GEEKCASTER. So, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, and or however you classify yourself. Doesn't really matter. But we all love this total lovely sci-fi fantasy stuff. GeekCaster.com, the only place where you can not only enjoy what we do, but you also can go to the site and make money. So check us out, GeekCaster.com.